8mm film was released in 1932 as a cheaper alternative to 16mm film. It was used by both professional and amateur videographers. A 3-inch reel of 8mm is 50 feet, 15.24 meters, and can store 2 to 3 minutes of film. Reels can vary from 3 inches up to 7 inches. A 7-inch reel is 400 feet, 121.92 meters, and can hold 26 to 29 minutes of film. The steps to shooting 8mm film required videographers to thread and spool the film themselves into the camera. Released by Kodak in 1965, Super 8 came in small enclosed cartridges that were inserted into the camera, creating an ease of use absent from working with 8mm film. In 1973, Kodak released a version of Super 8 with sound. Both formats were sold in variations with sound. To look for the audio track on 8mm film, check beside the sprockets for a strip in yellow or rust. The strip is the same color for Super 8, both next to the sprockets and on the other side of the reel. Each type of film comes in both monochrome and full color. The image on a frame of 8mm film is 4.5 millimeters, where Super 8 images are 5.79 millimeters. 8mm film sprocket holes are rectangular, where Super 8s are square. According to Kodak, this is to accommodate the large frame without increasing the overall width of the film itself. The number of frames per second using 8mm film is 16, meaning actions played back may appear to move faster than it originally took place, where Super 8's FPS is 18, making playback movement on screen appear more realistic. Due to the differences in film stock, you can't shoot 8mm film on a Super 8 camera, and you can't shoot Super 8 film on an 8mm camera. Temperature and relative humidity are some of the biggest components of film shelf life. As seen here on this storage calculator from filmcare.org, you can estimate length of time it takes for dyes to degrade, and in the right conditions, film can last a long time. Generally, for nitrate, acetate, and polyester films, a storage temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius, and below is acceptable and meets ISO recommendations, but best practice is to keep film at freezing, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0 degrees Celsius. Acetate film, which has been available in both black and white and color, is prone to a slow form of chemical deterioration known as vinegar syndrome. This happens as the molecules of acetal are freed from cellulose molecules due to both age and, more importantly, due to moisture, heat, acids. This leads to the film beginning to smell like vinegar. Black and white film can suffer from silver fading, as oxidative gases can permeate the gelatin binder in which the metallic silver is held, forming the image. The corrosion discolors the image and fades it by producing colloidal silver, a small particle with a brown-red color. Color film commonly faces irreversible dye fading, as many of the dyes used are unstable organic compounds. The way in which this deterioration occurs is similar. Bonds between atoms break down. Kodacolor film from 1942 to 1953 can stain yellow-orange, for example. Color film contains cyan, yellow, and magenta dye. While the original look of faded film can be restored digitally, there is nothing that can be done to the film itself outside of slowing further deterioration through cold storage. Both black and white and color film, 8mm and Super 8, are at risk for mold, which can attack the gelatin binder inside the film and feed off it. The National Film Preservation Foundation lists 3 ways to fight film deterioration: by protecting the film originals and sharing content with the public through copies, printing old film onto new, more stable film stock, storing the original film in new master under cool and dry conditions, and providing public access through surrogate video, DVD, and film copies. Filmcare.org offers a resource on how to use microenvironments for small collections or portions of larger collections by controlling the moisture within a portion of the storage area, by adding moisture absorbents, acid scavengers, to absorb deterioration byproducts like acetic acid, or by moisture preconditioning film prior to storage inside a sealed enclosure. For larger collections, a macro environment is best. Less labor-intensive than a microenvironment, film moisture content is governed by temperature and RH levels maintained between 20% to 50% in the storage environment. The air quality should be controlled and monitored regularly to minimize the risk of contamination. You can make digital copies of film using equipment like this Magnasonic digital film scanner. It comes with accessories to accommodate both 8mm and Super 8 film. This device has software built in. It takes photos of each frame and saves the finished product as an MP4 file. This means it cannot save any audio tracks as it isn't recording the film in real time. A removable SD card holds the saved files, which can be transferred either directly to a computer with an SD slot, or you can plug a USB wire from the device to your computer and transfer copies that way. You can also view your files on the scanner using the small LCD screen in front. In addition to the added accessories for swapping between 8mm and Super 8, there is also a small latch near the front of the device that must be placed at one of two settings to help it know which type of film you're scanning. This has to do with the scanner's recognition of the size of the sprocket holes. After threading the film, you secure it on its path by closing the door, which is part of what allows you to see a preview image of the film, and make adjustments before beginning the scan. The physical control panel displays the power and menu buttons, a set of directional keys when browsing the folder on your SD card, and a button to begin and end the scan. Pressing start will bring up a prompt asking you to specify the reel size and provides a key for how long you may expect scanning to take. These suggestions for how long it may take are not always 100% accurate, but they're close. After choosing your reel size, scanning will begin. Pressing the button again stops the scan and automatically saves it as an MP4. You can go directly from there to view your finished clip. When finished, in order to rewind your film to put it back on the original spool, you open the door to unlock the film, flip both spools, and go into settings where you hit fast forward. Because both spools are now in opposite locations, fast forwarding, in fact, rewinds the film. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I wish you all a wonderful rest of the year. Bye!